Okay, so hey guys, bear with me please, because I haven't filmed a video in a very, very long time, and I have absolutely no video editing software at the moment. Shame, shame, shame. Forgive me though. But I'm finally gonna film random story time, because all 5 of you, my 5 favorite Tumblr followers, you know who you are, said I should do this. So I've got 3 stories kind of in mind, so this is probably going to be a longer video, but they're funny in my opinion. We'll start off with something small, kind of stupid, happened more recently than anything else, but also trigger warning, I guess, if you don't like mildly gruesome things. Involves body modification in a way. So here we go. About a year, almost 2 years ago, I went to Claire's and got my second holes done. And yeah, I know, for shame, but it was just kind of on a whim. I had some cash and I was like, why not? Let's go be stupid, because I desperately wanted to put black like cross studs in there because I'm so hardcore. But I went, got them pierced. They healed shitty, like all piercings done with a piercing gun will do. But they healed shitty, and I never really thought anything of it. Fast forward to last year, which was about 4 months after I'd gotten them pierced. They were pretty well healed, and I had started apprenticing at a tattoo shop to be a piercer. So I was on and off piercing people and just, fucking with my own body mods, doing sizing for everything. And I found some tapers. They were just a 16 gauge. I was pierced with an 18 gauge. So I was like, okay, I'll just stretch these up and put some nicer jewelry in them, because I was really fucking sick of my crusty ass studs. So I take the studs out and I'm absolutely disgusted. So I thoroughly clean my ear. And I go ahead and stretch them, and I put these little green captive bead rings in there. Looked adorable, everything was awesome. And a couple months go by, and I'm let go from my position as an apprenticing piercer. And so I didn't have the access to any tools or anything to remove or change jewelry or any of that nonsense. One day I wake up and the ball to one of my captive bead rings is just gone. It's fallen out completely. Just don't know where it is. So I dig around in my jewelry chest and I find a Labret stud, a 16 gauge Labret stud, and I'm like, okay, I'll just replace it. It's fine, it's no big deal. It's got one of those almost circular, it's kind of square almost, gems on the front of it. But, I didn't think anything of it. It was an internally threaded piece of jewelry. Really nice quality. So I figured it would be fine in my ear. I had that in for a couple of weeks, and then Nathan and I went to the mall and to visit one of my friends. She worked at Spencer's at the time, so we're in Spencer's, and I'd pierced her previously. I checked up on her lip piercings, and she was talking about how she wanted to do this and that, and how she wanted to start stretching her ears. So we go over to the jewelry case, and she's showing me all this shit that she wants. At the time, I had a mohawk, and I had my little, sideburn pieces, and I was always fidgeting with them, I was playing with them and tucking them behind my ear and shit. And I was wearing my absolute favorite coat, the only winter coat I've ever owned, that it's got zippers and all this crazy shit on it. And she's talking, and I'm not really paying attention. I'm just fiddling with my hair. And when I reach up to tuck my hair behind my ear, this little zipper, it's about a couple millimeters long, not too terribly long, but it's got this tiny little itty bitty gap in it. And somehow, that little gap in the middle of the zipper catches the back of the Labret stud. And I pull my hand back to pull my hair behind my ear, and all of a sudden I just feel a sharp tug, and my head jerks back, and I pull my hand away, and there's blood just all over my hand and dripping down into the coat. And Nathan is just looking at me like, what happened? And I immediately grabbed my ear. And my friend's like, oh my god, do you need some paper towels? Do you want anything? I'm like, yeah, please bring me something. And I'm holding my ear and bleeding, and I'm looking around because I figured that I yanked the piece of jewelry all the way through my ear. That's exactly what I thought happened. I thought I had torn my earlobe open and I was gonna lose my bottom piercings just because I torn all the way the fuck down. Either that or I was gonna be a much larger size than I was. She comes back with a paper towel and this little like alcohol swab. So I pat myself off with when I do the paper towel and I wipe down my ear with the alcohol swab. And then I feel the earring, like the post is still in my ear. And after I clean it off, everybody's like gathered around me, poking and prodding my earlobe. And it turns out it was only halfway yanked through my ear. This begins the process of several days of attempting to pull it out or push it back through. This goes on just forever until Nathan and I break down. We bought some razor blades. We sterilized the razor blades and he tries to cut my earlobe back open to force the jewelry through. Yep, we did that for like 2 hours. We attempted that shit. And fuck, it was just terrible. But, okay, anyway. That doesn't happen. That just, it can't work. For whatever reason, we just can't get it through. So how I finally fucking got it out was, I'd never seen 500 Days of Summer before. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me what was this movie. But I was feeling particularly depressed after I finished watching this movie. And I just ended up pulling on it. Just yanking on it and just crying. Because I was watching this fucking movie. And I just yanked it out through my ear. And I peed my pants with excitement. I was like, oh god, it's finally over. It's finally over. And that's kind of why I don't have second lobe piercings anymore. Yay! So exciting! But now you have a little bit of a view into my life. Fuck. The next story is kind of dumb. Happened, I would say, 3 or so years ago. I fancied myself a punk back then. I thought I was a punk kid. And I hung out with a lot of punk kids, like some local punk kids. And they had invited me to like a house party, like a small gathering. It wasn't really a party. But they had invited me to this little gathering. And I go, and we're all hanging out and talking and drinking. And we're just drinking screwdrivers. And for some reason, all of my mixed drinks always end up as mostly liquor. It's been that way. It's just been that way. Always. They end up as mostly liquor. I remember having, I think, my 4th glass of screwdriver. And then the next thing I remember is very gently being placed in the back seat of one of my friend's cars, saying, you're too drunk, they're gonna go take you where you can sleep. And I'm like, no, don't, I don't want to go. And my friend is literally like, you need to take a nap, you need to calm down. And I'm just belligerent at this point. And the next morning I wake up, I'm hungover, just hungover as fuck. And asking what the hell happened, how drunk did I get, like, was I really messed up? And the friend who had taken me to sleep over at his house then explained that apparently I had hopped a 6.5 or 7 foot fence into the neighbor's yard and climbed up into their children's treehouse. Now, I cannot confirm or deny this actually happened. This is what I was told. I had hopped this fucking fence, but I had also, before I did that, stolen the entire bottle of vodka. What was remaining in the bottle, I had taken, hopped the fence, climbed up into this treehouse, and barricaded myself in. And when they were trying to coax me down, I told them that nobody could get me, the vodka was mine. I don't know how they got me down. I'm not quite sure about that part. Or if this even happened and I didn't just pass out. But I thought it was fucking hilarious because everyone seemed dead fucking serious about this being the thing that had happened, that had gone on. I think it was pretty funny, in my personal opinion. But, of course, you guys don't have to think it was funny. The last story, I was gonna do this, like, really dramatic one, but I feel like that should be a request only. It's really funny in hindsight. So if you guys want to see my super funny, kind of dramatic one, just let me know. But this one also has to do with me being drunk, like super drunk. Okay, so when I moved in with Nathan, moved into his dad's house with him, like I had this little basement apartment thing. We got my room all set up and we were having a like housewarming christening party. I invited like 2 of my friends over. And like I said, whenever I'm drinking a mixed drink, it just becomes a cup of alcohol at that point. And this is before Nathan and I were like publicly dating. We'd already done stuff, but nobody knew we were involved with each other. So it was like a super hush-hush kind of thing. But liquor brings out everyone's courage. We were playing Truth or Dare, and everybody else had gone, and it was Nathan's turn to dare me, rather, and he dared me to make out with him. So I made out with him, and everybody's just, like, gaping at us after this 10-second long makeout. And everybody starts to, I don't know, either get uncomfortable or get too drunk. And Nathan goes upstairs. I don't remember why he said he was going upstairs, but he went upstairs to throw up. That's just what happened. Not directly relating the makeout, but at that point we were all just drinking cups full of liquor. Anyway, I'm downstairs and everybody's like, well then, that was interesting. And I'm just sitting there like, just really drunk, and I'm like, do you think he likes me? Mind you, I know this. At this point, I know that he does. Do you think he likes me? Everyone's like, yeah, he probably likes you. He dared you to kiss him. I was like, oh, yeah, probably. I tell my friends that they can sleep over. I don't expect anybody to drive or go anywhere in our super wasted condition. But anyway, my 2 friends were talking amongst themselves. Don't remember what they were saying or doing for that matter, but I get up, I go over to my vanity, and I fancy myself a makeup artist at that point. I think I'm going to go woo Nathan. No one stopped me while I was doing this. But I'm sitting there and apparently taking every product that did not belong on my face and just putting it on my face. Like, I picked up a blue eyeliner pencil. Blue is the only thing I remember because I poked myself in the eye with it. I'm picking up a blue eyeliner pencil, and in my mind, I am just the most gorgeous thing that has ever happened with this bright blue eyelid, and I look so good. And they're giggling, my friends are giggling off in the corner, but nobody stops me, nobody tells me what I look like. And I truck my butt up the stairs to find Nathan, like, throwing up. I'm like, do you want to kiss me? And he's like, no, it's gross. And I got really hurt and really offended. And then he looks back up at me and he's like, no, I don't mean like kissing you, it's because I puked. And then he starts smiling. And, I don't get it. I think I'm gorgeous. So I think he's smiling because I am just the most beautiful thing he's ever seen. And, anyway, we ended up back in his room and just passed out. The next morning, I wake up and I go to use the bathroom and I see that I look like a retarded clown. I have just had a box of makeup explode all over my face. And Nathan comes in to explain that I was trying to be sexy for him. And that he didn't have the heart to tell me that I looked as bad as I did. So he just kind of let me think I was beautiful. I'm sorry, I think that's funny. To me, that is hilarious. that nobody stopped me because they wanted to see the train wreck that was blue eyeliner drunk me. It was funny. Well, that's all I really got to say at this particular moment in time. If you guys want to hear any more of my random crazy stories, just let me know, and I'll film some more of them for you. But bye for now.